I mean, they got motive here. Back to back national championships is always a motive. Ryan Day, eighth year here, 14-2 last year. Many could say Ohio State kind of, I won't say lucked up their way in there, but some things slid in their favor to give them that second win in the college playoffs. But I'm a Notre Dame fan. People might consider that hate, and it's not hate, okay, people. But this Ohio State, the quarterback situation here is crazy. They got the top player on offense and on defense, with the receiver over there and the guy over there and the linebacker, I believe it's Ohio State. Those two, I'm not good with names, y'all. So don't. I always could spot it, but I use my guy Moose for the names, and Wine does good on that too. But anyways, y'all know who I'm talking about. But anyways, yeah, those two guys are top in the nation at their positions right now. So they do have good weapons. They coming back. They got a favorable schedule, believe it or not. The quarterback room is the biggest problem on Ohio State this year. You know, everything else you could pretty much say they could fix. Ryan Day never really had to dive too deep into the transfers portal. All his players are homegrown. I'm pretty sure there's depth. There's been depth for the last 8 years when he's been here, or 7 years, should I say, that he's been here. With the playoffs, and the quest for back to back, doing something a lot of people has never done. I think to give is a big motive, but this team this year has to find an identity of what they do good and what they do bad fast. By the second or third game of the year, they need to know the quarterback situation, if they're going to be focusing on running the ball. The defense, I think, is going to be Trump tight. They did lose some players, but like I said, it's his squad, it's his team. Everybody's homegrown, so the defense is going to land on their feet. But the offense always have had doubts. The offense has always, you know, kept them out of coming back in some situations, especially against Michigan. But the offense have always been sometimes the downfall to this team. So new quarterback is crucial for these guys. What do you guys think about the quarterback coming in right here in the quarterback room? And where are you guys with Ohio State in 2025?
I'm not sure what we're going to get from Julian Sand. I'm just not sure what we're going to get. He is the number one quarterback prospect. I think he's tied with Archie Manning as the number one quarterback prospect in the nation. And what that brings a very wide range of performance expectations. You look at the quarterback history that has played out under Ryan Day. He's had the luxury of just having somebody develop within his own program that has not come in necessarily as a true freshman. That you look at all the way back to Justin Fields, Cadillac Jones. I mean, all those guys were on the depth chart that got to see other players perform in front of them, and then they got their opportunity. This is going to be the first time in a while. I think this is the first time since Brian Day's second or third year where he is going to be starting a true freshman in the beginning of the year. This might actually be the first time he's done it. I don't have the note in front of me, but he's also got the number 3 quarterback prospect behind him. So what's the leash going to be like for saying at quarterback? And I don't know. We don't know that. A key indicator of what the offense might look like is they brought in Brian Hartline as their offensive coordinator. He's a former receiver. We remember him with the Dolphins back in the day. And you look at the wide receiver group. Let me just go through it real quick, and I'll give you a quick description of their athletic abilities. Jeremiah Smith, dog. Carnell Tate, dog. Brandon Inniss is somewhat unknown, but did play 16 games last year as a depth piece and is the number 2 ranked wide receiver prospect. So he fits the formula. Dog. Amika Ibuka does leave, and he was the only other receiver to have over 1,000 yards last year. So you're going to have somebody step up, but you have a dog house at receiver. Can Sand get the ball to them? Is the offensive line strong enough to give him protection? And the offensive line is legit, but left tackle could be a bit of a concern. It's a Rice transfer that has come over, and he is massive. He is 6'6", 357 pounds of pure meat. And that could be an issue, though, with some of those faster edge rushers that utilize more of their speed technique more than just the power move. That is one of the things I want to look at is, will Sand have enough protection, and will he be able to utilize the doghouse at receiver. For the defensive side of the ball, Matt Patricia coming in, takes over as DC. The same guy that has had a lot of controversy surrounding him and how he handles his defensive players, but he's going to use a flexible hybrid version of the 3-4-4-3. He does get about half of the tackles that returned from last year. The edge rushers are extremely talented and could emerge as some of the best edge rushers in the country. I think this is one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the Big Ten. It is preseason projected rank as the 5th best total defense in the country. Everything comes down to quarterback. And also one more thing, running back. I do like that they added CJ Donaldson at running back. He is a legit transfer from West Virginia that runs between the tackles. But beyond that, it's going to be a question of who else steps up. It's definitely going to be a downgrade from what we had last year with the dynamic 1-2 punch. But it's going to be interesting to see what kind of offense develops given the questions at quarterback, the potential downgrade at running back, and the left tackle concerns going into the season.
Nice. One question for you though. Well, actually, I'm gonna tell the question, Moose, if you can respond, and then we'll go to my man Wine, because Wine is over there itching to get into this right now. But okay, first get week 1, Ohio State versus Texas, right?
Yeah.
Texas is a 2.5 point underdog at even, and the over and under is 50. Let's say Ohio State comes in there and beats Texas 35-24.
Oh.
What do you think about Ohio State then, Moose?
I mean, first off, that beats my under, so I'm not stoked about that score. If it is them beating, what'd you say how many points they put up?
35-24.
Yeah, I think you got to kind of quickly buy in.
You got to buy in? So you mean to tell me everybody's got Penn State lined up top of the league, but week 1, Ohio State knocks Texas, boom, they're number 1 in the talks?
No, I don't think they're number 1 in the conference. I think you buy in terms of they're going to be one of the best teams. And then it's a question of, are they the best team? And it's still going to be, Penn State. I really like Ohio State, but if Sayan immediately proves that like he is the real deal, I mean, they could easily get as hyped as Penn State is. But there's still going to be question marks. I mean, that left tackle could be an issue. I mean, yeah, he's massive, but their pass rush last year, if you remember how many injuries they had to that offensive line and how they were shuffling everybody around earlier on in the year, they were susceptible to the pass rush. And by the time they got to the playoffs, they got hot. They figured out their offensive line situation, and things were good to go. But this year, just the fact that they already kind of have that question does make me think that will be something we want to monitor the entire year, not just in a game against Texas where it's like, oh, they look good. Texas is one of the best defenses in the country. That's why I do like the under there in that first game. But it will answer some questions if we immediately see the passing game develop and look legit. That would answer a lot of questions about this offense.
Nice. Well, there you go, Wine. Go ahead. I see you over there itching. Let them have it, Wine.
Man, it's so rough right now. Like, does StreamYard not allow you to go onto OurLads.com? Like, I cannot pull up any depth chart right now. All my browsers are working. Other than that, it's crazy. I wish I had the whole roster pulled up right here. But, key departures from the Ohio State. Will Howard, he left for the NFL for the Steelers in the 6th round. Chip Kelly, their offensive coordinator, they're one and done. He's calling plays for the Oakland Raiders, or Las Vegas Raiders now, sorry. They lose both their running backs in Henderson and Judkins, Abuko, JTT, Sawyer, and they lose Jim Knowles, but they replace him with Matt Patricia, an NFL-style defensive coordinator. He's had some success just calling plays. I've never liked him as a head coach. Always liked him as just a defensive caller. So it's going to be interesting. I think he fits quite well with this Ohio State team. This was a huge promotion, guys, to Brian Hartline. I mean, this guy's been developing and recruiting wide receivers left and right for the past several years, developing all these guys, bringing them in, building a relationship with them in high school. These guys want to go out there and ball for this guy. I mean, there's a reason why Jeremiah Smith plays for Ohio State. It's because of this man right here. You better believe he's going to give Jeremiah Smith a lot of touches this year. I mean, Jeremiah Smith is the best player in college football potentially. The sky is the limit for this guy at the next level. It's going to be really interesting to see him play the next, at least, I mean, we're going to see him 2 more years in college football, so it's going to be fun. They also have one of the best free safeties in college football, and Caleb Downs. A lot of people don't really talk about this guy, but this guy, really a big workhorse in that back end of that defense for them, calling all the plays for them, a really experienced guy back there. They grabbed big tight end and Max Clare from Purdue, who's had some good production in the Big Ten as well. They grabbed CJ Donaldson, as Moose mentioned, from West Virginia. This guy, I liked him at West Virginia. I like him running between the tackles. He's a big dude. He's pretty quick, but at the same time, he's not a Judkins or he's not a Henderson either, and they don't really quite have that in this offense. They lose a quarterback was very experienced. I mean, Will Howard started so many games at the college football level. I know it's just 1 year at Ohio State, but they bring in Julian Slane from Bama. I believe this guy was a 5-star prospect. This guy has every tool to be good at this level, and I expect him to be. It's going to be a really interesting matchup. Ohio State is pretty lucky to have Texas in Columbus, Ohio for week 1 and not in Texas. That does give Ohio State the advantage, but I'm kind of with Moose in that week 1 matchup on the under because I like both of these defenses. I think we're going to see 2 quarterbacks that haven't rarely had any college football experience go into a hostile environment. The lights might be too bright here for Julian Slane here, so we'll see about that, but he will have that side on his back, obviously, because Ohio State's one of the most hostile environments in college football. But he's still going to have the jitters. He's still a young kid out there. So it's going to be interesting to see in that week 1 matchup. I like this Ohio State team. Do I think they're the team they were? Yes, last year, not even close. I think they take a step back, but they were also the national champions last year. So it's kind of hard to say that. Shout out to also my guy Spoons Bets in there. He said OH. He's an Ohio State guy right there in the building. So I'm curious to see what he has to say about this Ohio State team. Dab Father in the chat as well. Shout out to my guy Oldie in the building as well. But yeah, I like this Ohio State team. I have them number 2 in my Big Ten power rankings, guys. I have them over Oregon. I have them right behind Penn State, despite losing as much as they did. I just think Brian Hartline, you couldn't have really given a better promotion to anyone out there. This is his dream job, I feel like right now. I mean, other than when he's going to be able to get his own head coaching job. But this guy is one of the best recruiters. No one talks about it, but like he's the guy that brings in these wide receivers. You know what I mean? It's not Ryan Day. Ryan Day ain't meeting up with these guys and calling them every single day, seeing how they're doing. It's Brian Hartline, and I think he's going to have a good season being the play caller there. Might be some bumps and bruises because it's going to be his first time getting play calls, but he also learned a lot from Chip, I think, last year. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'm excited, though.
Nice, man. Nice. Let's keep it pushing, though, man. I'm going to go keep it going. But my man Wine, I told you, he will tell you the temperature about the atmosphere of where they play. You heard him be saying,